Here we go now.
Hello, partners. I'm Patch Kansana, and you're watching Curve TV, your collaborative construction show, Season 3. Curve TV brings you the different sides and faces of the industry like never before. Fresh, inspiring, unintimidating. So join us for an hour of talk and more. Let's get ahead of the curve. Partners, tonight we are so delighted to feature Manila Fame, the Philippines' premier sourcing trade show for premium quality artisanal products for modern living. Manila Fame supports and showcases local MSMEs and artisan communities from the home, fashion, and lifestyle industries through various capacity building programs and collaborations with top Filipino designers. An all new sourcing experience is coming for the home, fashion, and lifestyle sector of our country with Fame Plus Market Days going live this October 20 to 22, organized by the Center for International Trade Expositions and Missions. So joining us this evening is CITEM's Executive Director, Pauline Suaco-Juan. We also have creative directors and product designers, Rita Nazareno and Gabby Lichauco. Good evening, everybody.
Hi, Patch. Thank you for
Hi,
having me.
Pauline.
Hi.
Hi, Gabby, and hi, Rita.
Hello.
Oh my gosh. I already know that an event for lifestyle, fashion, and modern because of your Zoom backgrounds. Everything is so curated, well lit. Everything is so proper. Thank you for that. It's very pleasing to the eyes. Before we start the show, how's everybody doing? Pauline, how are you? Where are you now? You're at home?
Yeah, I'm in the bedroom actually.
Bedroom. Yeah.
So my Zoom background is actually like a wall.
Yes,
Thank you
and
for
it's very
noticing
nice.
it.
Yes, of course, the texture, the details, right? Yes, Rita.
I'm in California, so it's 4:45 a.m. here. So
Thank you. I
sorry
mean,
if it don't make
thank you
sense.
very much. It doesn't look 4 a.m. You look so alive already. So thank you for adjusting your time with us here. I'm sure because of work also, you really have to do some phone calls during this time,
Oh yes, I'm usually awake.
right?
Yes.
Patch, okay
Yes.
lang yan. She's in California. She should make something like this.
That's true. That's true. And Gabby is that water. What is that? Water, vodka,
Water.
gin.
No,
Are you
no.
sure? Okay.
I had to rush dinner, so
Okay.
had to like
Well,
drink
thank
everything
you
fast.
guys. Thank you guys. That's good. And I'm so excited to talk about this because it is an online event. And I mean, with everything happening now, it's both exciting and a lot of challenging at the same time, right? Because Manila Fame would always do their events, of course, live, and people would go to this event and source materials. You discover new artists at the same time, products. Now, this time it's going to be digital, and I'd like to know more about it since it is a digital showcase. What is the inspiration behind this year's theme for Manila Fame? Anybody can answer that. Pauline, you want to go ahead?
Theme muna. Theme sila na lang. Yung digital na lang muna yung
Ah,
akin.
sige, yung digital sa'yo.
Loaded naman kasi ng question mo eh.
Sorry. Sorry, ako ata yung nakainom for tonight. Okay, take it away, Pauline.
Well, for Gabby and I, we were tasked
Mm,
by Fame to do the production, to do the product design for about
mm,
24 to about 25 different companies.
mm,
Both for Manila Fame as well as Maisonette of J in Paris and in New York now
mm,
as well. So for us, we kind of looked at kind of this reference. We called it actually in any kind of place. It's taken
mm,
from a series of poems by Gertrude Stein, entitled "Tender Buttons." In that poem, she looked at objects and rooms and food, which is basically what we're designing for. So we're looking at Gertrude Stein. She experimented with words. No, she something like familiar words that seem almost like strangers. And so for Gabby and I, we were trying to invoke this kind of, the same thing. You're like looking at familiar things, but making it kind of look like
mm,
strangers. So, and Gertrude Stein was the mentor of in Guide to the Lost Generation in the 1920s,
mm,
collection of creators like Alice B. Toklas and Matisse and Picasso and Hemingway.
mm,
And there were a collection of creators that were left kind of wandering after the First World War and the 1918 flu pandemic. So we're kind of looking at the last pandemic all the way till now. So that kind of
right.
century. So we're looking at kind of creating something that from the past looking towards the future. So we looked at that. We looked at the thought of the future and creating our own world. So yeah. So Gab.
Wait,
Okay,
yes, Gab.
yeah.
No, but
Look,
yes, go on, go ahead.
no, it's like what Rita mentioned. So it's a reinterpretation of one is like reinterpretation of vintage,
Mm-hmm.
again from different eras, and applying this concept into something more crafty. So
Yes.
again, because again our strength, Filipino companies, the strength is like on the craft. So we want to do pursue that and show that as as part of the whole collection. And yeah, it's really more of an interpretation of what we've been doing, like our research for since last year. So it just slowly started evolving, and then with Pauline also suggesting as we would um, tell her the idea, right? And like maybe you can do
Mhm.
this, do that, and they were like, "Oh yeah, good idea." So it
Yeah,
just started expanding and getting bigger and bigger. So
really great
Right.
collaborative effort.
So Rita and Gabby, the theme is and that inspiration is very rich, no? Rich in interpretation, I guess, and in the culture and arts that you guys thought of. Was there ever a barrier? Parang I'm sure the brainstorming was so exciting for you guys that let's do this. This is going to be enticing for people, but the barrier because it's going to be digital. How did that affect this brainstorming? Was there a limit? Parang were there limitations to this creativity? Did that hinder you from, thinking that okay, let's try to pull this off? Pero teka lang, we're digital. How are we going to engage people to really feel this rich of the theme?
Well, for us, I think there are certainly limitations,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's physical or digital, right?
Right.
And we just needed to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly, I think the fact that we realized that the content, the visuals needed to be top notch, and
Mm-hmm.
Pauline also, you know, um, she realized that in the get go. That's why we have like fantastic photographs, stories, etc. And she hired sila Vince Uy and a whole
Mm-hmm.
team of people who really helped us out. So that was again, I was saying Karina, it's a collaborative effort from the team
Right.
the teams that Pauline hired, as well as the manufacturers and the designers. Yeah.
Exactly. Pauline, how did that go for you? I mean, it's a showcase of talents and creativity. And again, it's showing the lifestyle, home, and fashion through a digital platform, right?
Mhm.
How did you take that challenge going into this event?
Well, the heart of any production, really, or any event
Mm-hmm.
that we do something like this, whether it's physical or digital, is the products, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Particularly trade show wherein your buyers are looking for new products. So
Mm-hmm.
that's always the big concern. So
Mm-hmm.
um, last year when the pandemic struck, it was really sort of an effort to try to how do we still continue to do product development and introduce new things that buyers
Mm-hmm.
will want to buy, right? And hence, the challenge with Rita and Gabby has always been how to push through or how to see through the product development process in the through Zoom, because essentially that's what
Right.
we were doing. So I don't know exactly how they did it. They're heroes, in my opinion, to be able to, devise ways, processes to, make collect, to check, to count the
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
quality checks at that, uh, also with the different exhibitors that they were kind of holding the hands off, no, throughout this whole process. And then after, after getting the products done, as Rita was saying, that the next problem became how do you tell the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because on once it's digital, that's really the storytelling becomes your primary means. So content is your means to be able to sell these
Mm-hmm.
products. So what we did early on was hire. I guess we're fortunate to have come from a publishing background, so we hired uh, creative director Vince Uy, who was with us in preview, and who now has his own agency. And then we've also put together parang a dream cast in terms of the digital showcase. So this is going to be
Mm-hmm.
the show. Um, uh, because we know the Bab. just to backtrack a little, so what we did was we built a website. So we put all the exhibitors online. So they all have
Mm-hmm.
digital storefronts, with a little help, of course, with the little subsidy, of course, from CITEM, and then with our
Mm-hmm.
partner Will Export. So we were able to put together like parang we call it like a content amelioration program. So a lot of the exhibitors who didn't have product photographs, we were able to photograph it, get a copywriter to write about the products, and then they're all on a digital storefront. But as in the case with digital, if you just because you built it does not mean they will come.
Yes,
So
exactly.
very Kevin Costner in for
Right,
this,
right.
right? So you have to
Exactly.
find ways. You have to find ways to do that, and doing a digital event is one of them. So this market days, which we're having on October 20 to 22, we've
Mm-hmm.
put together a whole program. So you have the presentation of Design Commune with Gabby and Rita
Mm-hmm.
and all our other creative collaborators, and a whole slew of like webinars that will help
Yes.
our exhibitors do better in social media or in brand building. We have for exhibitors, we have webinars to help them understand the different kinds of
Mm-hmm.
material we use, or we have other webinars as well that discuss our sustainable materials and how to be
Mm-hmm.
more sustainable and be more circular in terms of your operations. So there's a lot of things that we hope will engage both buyers and exhibitors in terms of coming aboard the platform and participating in Fame Plus Marketplace.
Exactly, because everything is based on communication now and how you will engage everybody, regardless if you're a visitor or an exhibitor, right? And it's good that you made it also in a way convenient, or you help the exhibitors, maximize how they can showcase their products. Because if it wasn't for you guys, baliwala rin yung products nila, diba? And the visitors won't be able to appreciate what they really are going to look at. But Rita and Gabby, in terms of the process of, yun nga of reaching out to these exhibitors as well, how did that go with you guys? Everything is done virtually. Ang daming ng Zoom. I can just imagine how many Zoom meetings you've been to, how many series of talks and, whatnot. Walk us through that process during this digital platform.
Um, Gab,
Oh, okay. uh, okay. So when it started last year around April, right? So the whole
Mm,
global lockdown, and then everybody was trying to figure out how to get things moving, right? So
yes,
this includes also the manufacturers because there's a lot of limitations in
exactly.
terms of um, productivity and all that, right? And
Mm,
then May came and CITEM said, oh, MNO. It started with MNO, um, the trade show in Paris. He said, oh, they have a
mm,
platform and they will proceed with their digital platform, right? So that started things, and everything was. I think what was good was we 2019 when we worked with them, with all these manufacturers, and we participated in 2019 in Paris. So that already had some sort of communication. So it
mm,
was easy for us to work with companies that we've worked with already. So that was a good start. And then eventually, so everything was done in Zoom. I think the challenging part is when you do a site visit or a factory visit, right? And then you see all these things, and a lot of
mm,
them are like from their storage, and that's when you see you're like a para kang ano basurero. You look at all these things, right?
yeah.
And then you realize, oh, I like this one, I like this one, and then that's how Rita and I would work, and we put everything all together in their big table and say, can we develop this, or like whatever didn't fly 5 years ago or 10 years ago would probably
Mm,
work this year, right? So we didn't have that opportunity to look at their things, but because we've done it a year before, we already have an idea that okay, this is what they're good at. and we because like talking to them during
Mm-hmm.
in Paris the whole time, so we got to know all of them, most of them, and so it was easier for us to work with them. But then again, it's different. A lot of ideas sometimes happen during the factory visit.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the sketches we do is on the spot, and I'm sure you guys, like
Okay.
as architects and interior designers, do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but this time, because there's a communication gap between you and them, we have to be more visual. So we have to
Mm-hmm.
develop 3D models for them. Aside from the measurements, etc., all the details, if we can kind of like show them in sketches in 3D,
Mm-hmm.
would be better for them to understand compared to. And there's always another issue is like the connectivity. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's like raining there, and you're like, it's just like sound, and you're like we can't understand one another. So I think it's more of that sort of digital challenge in terms of communication. So the best is really think that you guys are from different languages, so the only common denominator would be sketches and images for them to understand, and you to be able to communicate through them through these images. So
And
and then
Rita,
yeah.
that was hard for you too because you're not in the Philippines. I mean,
Yes. Well,
the
actually,
entire time.
I was in Manila when
Okay.
the pandemic started. So I think
Mm-hmm.
left like in January. But um yeah, it was tough, but also, oh my god, another thing is, can you be like really baba? But there was no traffic. You know,
That's true.
to the factory
we
visit.
didn't we didn't have to like travel
But wow, we did.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
We met with like, there were days we'd meet with like eight different, 10
Mm-hmm.
different manufacturers, and you could never do that.
Right.
When
Right.
you're there. But yeah, so yeah, let me be Baba and say there was no traffic. And
No,
that was,
it's not actually babaw because I mean, the convenience of not
yeah,
going from point A to point B
yes,
during this time is one of the greatest advantage that we can say, what the pandemic has brought to us. And
yes,
this is the only time wherein you can book your meetings at like 8 to 8:30, and then the next would be what, 8:30 to 9, and you won't be late, right? Or some people would make it even sabay, 'di ba? You're in two meetings, but you're just listening to one. But I mean, these are the things that we can take advantage of. And in terms of the process that you guys did, I guess you were able to pivot already. How long was this coordination, Rita and Gabby, just to prepare for this? How many months did it
well,
take for you?
we started March 2020,
Mm,
right, with a
okay.
lockdown, but we were working with CITEM already in 2019, so we had that kind of experience, and we were
Mhm,
working already on developing products for,
mhm,
at that time, about 13 different companies when the
mhm,
pandemic. And then, so for the cycle of Manila Fame, we had already been kind of gearing up for it. So
mhm.
it's been a long time coming. So it's been kind of almost seamless, no? From about a year and a half ago to.
And in that year and a half, Pauline, so you've coordinated with them. Innovation is so big now because you have to think of different ways, right? I mean, we're going into 2 years of purely a lot of webinars, everything online conferences. People just watch, and then the usual. It's becoming the normal way of attending conferences. Are there new and innovative ways of presenting in this year's Manila Fame that you are going to introduce in this
I'm glad
event?
I'm glad you asked that question because if you asked this last year, my answer would have been, "Oh, now we're digital, right?" But after
Right.
almost 2 years, everyone has like Zoom fatigue and their Zoom beats.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
um, so you don't want another webinar where you're just like that, right?
exactly.
So
Mm.
we were the Fame Plus Market Days. This is going to be the first time we're going to hold it on Hopin, which is an events
Mhm.
platform. um, particular to the trade industry. No? So
Mhm.
as I was saying, the digital storefronts that we have um, on Fame Plus, the website, is all linked. So when
Mhm.
you get to the platform and you go to the expo section, everyone, all the digital booths that are on the website will be there as well. So
Mhm.
buyers can take their time and um, look through the roster of exhibitors.
Mhm.
Then on the main stage, we have things that talks and webinars that go on live, right?
Mhm.
But the beauty of this platform is that the presentations are non-linear, diba?
Okay.
So once you get the program of activities, which we'll be releasing in a couple of days, um,
Mhm.
there are there are talks, for example, that you will find on the session in our session rooms, which means if you enter there, you can download on demand or you can
Oh,
watch them
okay.
on demand. So if you're caught in a meeting or not, or you fell asleep, woke up, didn't
Mhm.
wake up in time, you can browse at leisure. And then everything that happens after it goes live goes into the replay tab. So
Okay.
again, you can
That's very
access
convenient. Yes.
on demand. So if
Mhm.
Rita, who is in California and handicapped by the time zone, won't, diba? She can
Uh-uh.
peruse the what's happening at her own leisure. She's not gonna catch the live event, right?
Mhm.
But the content per se, she'll be able to get that. And then the other nifty thing about this platform is that it makes it easy. It facilitates networking. So
Mhm.
there's a networking section wherein everyone on the platform can just enter the networking room, and
Mhm.
and it's like speed dating. You can like
There you
tap on
go.
somebody and just say,
Swipe
"Hey,
left and
hi,
right by Anne
introduce
Pauline.
yourself." Introduce
Yeah.
yourself, and you can get video to video
Mhm.
greetings. Or the same thing can be done on the platform. There's an you can access everyone who's on the
Mhm.
platform at uh, during that particular time and send them a direct message. You can
Right.
also direct message in certain through to the exhibitors, and then
Mhm.
of course we have a concierge because this is the Philippines. So if there are things that you don't understand or you can't make work,
Yes.
we have a concierge there to help you navigate through the site so that you can use it better.
And the concierge is very good. I mean, I'm sure they will be having a lot of inquiries and questions on how to navigate the platform, because I think the networking is very I think that's one of the most challenging parts of it, right? And for you to be able to give that kind of platform is already a good innovation. And I was telling you guys offline that I've attended some of the expos also, and the networking platform is so helpful, and the reachability is so broad now because you can just literally DM anybody, right? And the conversation can go on not just during the event but even after. So here you can find people on LinkedIn, and then you connect to them there, and then keep the conversation going even after the event. Now, is there a difference? One nice thing that I got from this is you're able to download the live events, right? Or you can watch it on replay via on demand. But is there an advantage or like a perk if they watch it live? Is it an interactive kind of presentation or anything different from the live versus the replay?
Well, it depends on
Mm,
some talks
the
have
presenters. Mm,
live
right.
Q&A. Others are
Mm-hmm.
well, others you're limited to chat. Others are a live
Mm-hmm.
Q&A. Others have no Q&A at all.
Yeah.
It's just what happens kasi in the stage is that parang so that when you enter the digital event, something's always happening.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Because
Because I was
it's
thinking
not
baka
like
it's
going
like
to, Diba? It's not
Baka
like
I was
going.
thinking maybe it's like Clubhouse eh. Parang is it like an on thing, like you can turn on your mic and then you can really interact with the presenter? It's not like that.
No,
Okay.
no.
But I
But
mean, at least there is a platform. Go
yeah,
ahead,
no,
Pauline.
and it's not static. So once you enter the
Yes.
platform, it's not like a website where you're just looking at
Yeah.
whatever's on your screen and then just clicking.
Mm,
So where at least when you get to the main stage, you know that there are people,
right.
there are things happening in real time, uh,
Exactly.
uh, at that moment that you're logged in.
And whenever they have more questions, they can easily, message the presenter or just go to their booth, their digital booth, right? Rita and Gabby, what are some of the programs and activities that we can look forward to in this event? Some events that you want to highlight in Manila Fame. Anything in particular?
I do know there are market days that
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of looking forward to. We have, I think, a couple of things that Gabby and I are part of, and there
Mm-hmm.
are others that I actually have heard of that I'm actually looking forward to
Mm-hmm.
You have to ikwento your talk kayo naman, no? Is that
Plug it
I think that's
na.
part of the design commune. Is that part of the? So there's
yeah.
like the design commune. So all the um, designers and design curators
Mm-hmm.
were just discussing about um, I don't know if you want to call it the trend, but what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody has their own opinion on how design can move forward and what's going to happen in the future. Also,
Mm-hmm.
how as like a homeowner and how you can like fix up your space and how these pieces that we've designed and what these manufacturers have done
Mm-hmm.
can complement and can actually bring joy.
Is
Right.
this
That's
like
gonna
going to
So
be
be
a round table discussion?
yes.
yeah.
yes, yes.
Right.
Yeah,
You
and
were
that's
saying,
So
Pauline.
Rita and Gabby. That's Rita and Gabby together with our other product designers, Stanley Ruiz and Rachel Dagnalan.
Mm.
And then their sparring mates on that round table will include architect Aya Maceda from who's
Mhm.
based in New York and part of the design firm called Alaw. And then we also
Mhm.
have Eniko Yuto Tai, who is
Mhm.
from Casabella. And then we also have architect Nicole Tan of Boone Interiors. So at least what we wanted is to, because you can't really see it in the real world, at least
Exactly.
in this presentation, it's um, the closest thing you get to how you can apply the products that Sinagabi and Rita designed
Mhm.
in the real world. So it's
And
kind of
when is
like
this gonna happen? What
during
day is this gonna happen?
the first day. That's our
Oh, the
opening
first
salvo,
day.
right
Oh,
after we do
okay.
the opening ceremony.
So that's on October 20. And what time will this event happen? Like what time does it start and when's the end of the program for the 3 days?
Siyempre, hindi ko alam kung ano yung
On the spot ko ba kayo? Syempre, baka lang naman.
I I know Hopin opens at 9 a.m. for everyone. So if I'm not mistaken, the program starts at 10.
Okay. But we'll give you guys more the details afterwards because you guys are going to launch it na rin naman, diba? The program and everything so that our the guests also who would want to attend this can see and already mark all the programs that they want to attend to, all the talks that they want to listen to, and the exhibitors that they really want to interact with. All right, so this is a good start with Manila Fame. Let's talk more about the event with Team Manila Fame when we return. So mga parts, Kurt TV Bold Talks will be right back. Stay tuned.
With PasaJob, di lang mag-apply ang pwede mong gawin. Pwede ka rin mag-refer ng friend for a chance to get paid. That's right! PasaJob rewards you for connecting employers to the right candidates. So apply, refer, get paid with PasaJob. hassle maghanap ng trabaho. Pero sa app na to, lagi kang panalo. Nakatulong ka na, may reward ka pa. Sali ka na! Download the app to pass a job, help a friend, get a reward.
All right, welcome back to Curve TV Season 3. We're still here with Team Manila fame. Now, guys, was there ever a time that you thought that, let's not push through muna with this event? Did that ever enter your mind, Rita and Gabby? Na parang, let's just wait for this to happen when we can really, be together physically.
No, I always knew that Pauline was gonna make something happen. So no, not at all. I mean, and making things happen, whether physically, whether via digital, or whether a hybrid, that gives, right. So and hope is such a good thing. So I'm glad that right off the bat, we had the digital Fame Plus.
So, Rita, why is it so important to push this year's showcase of Fame Plus? What is the value and the importance of it to really, let's go for it, do digital, and go on with the event?
And also, to Pauline's credit, she's been putting together the digital Fame Plus way before the pandemic hit. So there was already the backbone there, and we just jumped into it when the pandemic happened. But it is important because as I was saying earlier, it gives especially not only as a designer but also as a manufacturer and as an exporter, that gives us hope. That gives us another platform where we can show our pieces and our pride, and so that is exciting and that is important, right? What do you think, Gab?
It's a Pauline's hand.
No, I'm
Yes.
sorry. On point.
Yes. So it's also, it's you have to also think globally. If you don't do this,
Yes.
then you'll be left behind. As other countries, other continents are moving and opening slowly, then these manufacturers are also. I mean, a lot of them are their clients to begin with. So if you don't show that you're there, if you don't show your presence, these loyal buyers will be questioning what happened to them, right? So these digital platforms, Manila Fame, Fame Plus, and other international platforms, allows the exporters to get in touch with the buyers, and for the buyers and for more buyers. So there's more opportunities for these exporters as well. So it's actually keeping in communication with everybody else, and that's how it goes. I mean, we've been in this global setup in the last 5 years, and we cannot stop that because of a pandemic. So, and we already have these tools of the internet, all these platforms, all these social media. So we cannot stop because of a pandemic. So, and these manufacturers realize, and they know that they need to keep going on. They'll be developing further more designs, more ideas. But if there's no venue to showcase those things, then again, like what Rita mentioned, it keeps everybody alive and excited to develop and present new things. So yeah,
Exactly, and I think the global mindset is is what we're all pushing for. Like even in the AEC industry, in the architecture, like interior designer also, and engineering, everybody's trying to think globally now. Reaching out to different clients in different regions of the world, and with this new setup that we have, what do you think, aside from that, Gabby, Rita, and Pauline, what do you think is the support or the advantage that this gives our local designers also and local brands? Pauline, go ahead.
I I just wanted to build on what Gabby was saying, that aside from being a promotions platform, I think which is well and good, right? Because you,
Mm-hmm.
particularly in a competitive business such as design, you really need to be top of mind. So what the digital event does is really make it imperative or for you to
Mm-hmm.
check it out because you have to participate in an event. And on the website, what happens is that we continually produce stories so
Mm-hmm.
that we're able to send this out via socials or through email so that there's a constant stream of content about Philippine design, about Philippine companies, Philippine products
Mm-hmm.
that keep going out into the internet, right? But
Mm-hmm.
um, the important thing about Fame Plus Marketplace and Fame Plus, the website, is that it
Mm-hmm.
is a leads generation platform. So there is a
Yes.
business goal that we
Mm-hmm.
have there. So it's not simply for a place where I'm going to put my digital storefront and then bahala na, right? Because the way it's built is really so that people can find you or buyers
Mm-hmm.
can find you. You have all your details there, and we can track also
Mm-hmm.
which buyers are interested. So on the website, we do an enormous amount of content. So Summit Media is our partner for this, and
Mm-hmm.
they really go through the roster of exhibitors to try to tell different stories, whether if it's Christmas holiday decor, or if it's a
Mm-hmm.
particular entrepreneur or a particular product, right? So when we have all this content, we also put in a considerable budget for
Mm-hmm.
SEO. So we have keywords are paid for, and then we do boosting and
Mm-hmm.
advertising on social media as well. So all of that with the end goals, so that buyers were able to kind of bring in buyers to the platform so that they can at um, look at our exhibitors. And it's and we're hoping to build, we're still
Mm-hmm.
on our way there, a community platform. So which
Okay.
means that while Manila Fame is able to use our resources to try and get as many people or as many buyers in our network as possible to come in, we also work together with each and every exhibitor and each and every participant, and try to channel their influence
Mm-hmm.
through their own networks. So the way we like to describe it is that as a community, if I'm Manila Fame and I have a bacha and I
Mm-hmm.
will throw it around, and whoever gets wet, right, is my network. Whoever
Mm-hmm.
Gabby, when he throws his bacha, some will be wet from mine, but others will not. So when
Mm-hmm.
each and everyone, diba, is finishes and does their promotion, and then diba, they throw what you have. So everyone who's wet is the extent of your algorithm.
Exactly.
Diba?
Right.
So
The
yan lahat
reach.
yung
Yeah.
tatamaan. The reach. Yan
Mm-hmm.
lahat yung tatamaan nung publicity, nung search engine. And that extends. So instead of just being one lonely company trying to
Right.
trying to promote against the world, you are leveraging the community of CITEM and your fellow exhibitors, diba? And playing off that
Exactly.
algorithm so that you reach more people, more buyers, ergo more leads for you.
And I think the nice thing that you said is it is going to be a community, and with the online platform, actually data, it's really the data that you get from this also, which I mean, we've been talking about this in different aspects of our business or different industry, that data is really going to run the world, right? And it's really our wealth in the coming years, even starting now. And my question probably is, after this entire Manila Fame, and Manila Fame Plus, you've already built that community and you've already exchanged contacts from each other. You will know different people from different places in the world. What are your plans after? I mean, it's going to be an ongoing community, right? You're going to keep it alive. And I guess compared to previous events, this will bring everyone closer because the reachability is there. Eh. Have you thought about that? After Manila Fame, you're going to keep it alive to communicate with each other, the buyers, exhibitors, and the community, the designers.
Well, that's really the goal. And actually, that's the
Mm,
challenge right now because I wouldn't say we've built it past tense, right?
yes.
So it's an ongoing education with all
Mm-hmm.
the editors to harness the community aspect of this. Because the
Right.
traditional way you promote, right, before social media came in, is
Mm-hmm.
na um, whatever is my promotion is me. I'm not gonna, diba? I'm not going to give
Mm-hmm.
you extra publicity because ako lang dapat yon, diba? So if I post, I'm not tagging you or anything. It's just
Right.
me. But that defeats the whole idea of a community, right? So if you look at the most
Exactly.
successful influencers online, you see them liking, posting, commenting on each other's posts because you know that they're playing with the algorithm. They need to be seen, they need to find engagement in whoever has in as many posts with as many
Mm-hmm.
communities, as many networks as possible. So I think that's a new thing that we've been trying to introduce to our exhibitors, and we're hoping that they internalize. So
Right.
uh, so it's it and to do that, you have to continuously engage, right? Produce your
Exactly.
own content, and when you're online or on social media, like, comment, share, diba?
Mm-hmm.
So that you keep the you parang kung baga you keep yourself top of mind, right? Or you keep
Exactly.
yourself relevant, diba? Is what they say. So when market days goes down, yun pa rin yon because Fame Plus, the website, is here 24/7, 365 days of the year.
Well, that's good news. I mean, I thought, like, after the event, you guys are gonna take it down, but after that, it's still gonna be there, and it's going to be accessible to people still. And I think with what Rita mentioned earlier, the collaboration, it really engages collaboration with this type of digital platform, right? Like compared to before when we interact in person, there's also a certain limitation to that, right? But now here the space is so inviting and engaging to everybody that you can really just reach out anytime. And that's already the trend that we have in the digital space and in data. But when it comes to design, I'd like to ask Rita and Gabby, what are your thoughts when it comes to product design trends in the next couple of years? I mean, the pandemic has changed human behavior already, and we've been talking about this on the show that when it comes to designing your any structure or interior, it already changed how we see things. No, areas become really multifunctional now. Your dining table becomes an extension of your office. Your bedroom becomes a family room now because everybody's at home. But when it comes to product trends and everything that's been happening the past year, what do you guys foresee in a couple of years?
Well, for me, well, number one, Gabby and I actually really don't follow trends.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
anyway, but um,
Mm-hmm.
just in a thought process for me, I think more people seem to be embracing the need for deeper meaning, whether in their lives
Mm-hmm.
or in how they run their business, how we design things also. So you're looking at something more individual, more expressive and well made, and something that will make you smile. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're where you find, like, whether it's the funny or the joy or whatever. That's for me, huh? So whether it's through color or through um, more interesting, more experimental pieces that show the fusion of technique and material and various references. Then
Mm-hmm.
Gab.
There. No. Mhm.
Yes. But I think Rita's correct. For one is, if you're gonna be designing for um, Filipino companies,
Mhm.
so it's more of like knowing their strength is first, but also knowing what the market is and what the market. It's a gamble. So that's how
Mhm.
design is, right? Whether again, whatever practice you are in, right? So and there's also that sort of, if you don't gamble and you don't innovate, then nothing's gonna happen, right? So um, in our case, it's like, okay, we can't compete with all these brands such as Muji, IKEA, and all that, where they're so
Mhm.
cheap, and we
Mhm.
consider them as utilitarian pieces, right?
Right.
Um, and I think the first year of the pandemic, everybody bought these brands, right? To be able to accommodate what they needed, right? A
Mhm.
little office, a little whatever, and little that, blah blah. And then eventually, once they're like tired of that, seeing metal shelving that looks like a bodega, then they start
Mhm.
realizing, oh, we need something with more character, right? And that's where we come in. That's our aesthetic. Um,
Mhm.
because we already know that that's not our market. Eventually, these people will need something. I mean, you can't smile seeing a shelf by Muji, right? You can't smile seeing a hamper, when you buy it, but
Mhm.
when you smile when you see a bust with like rainbow colors or a
Mhm.
mask, a woven surfboard, right?
Mhm.
A woven abaka piece that's like designed like a surfboard, duck pins that's woven, and all these. So that's the direction that we want, and that's what we want to introduce again with the local consumer. Also with the foreign buyers, right? That
Mhm.
this is, I think, design for one thing. It's not just about aesthetic, but design is about culture. So we're actually
Yes.
sending our culture abroad through these digital platforms
Yeah.
and through the design and through craft, right? Once they see the craft, they're like, hey, where's this come from? Oh, it's Philippines. Or they like start, researching. Oh, it came from Pampanga. It came from,
Mhm.
and then now it came from Cebu and whatever, right? And then they start, oh, let's check it out. Let's fly there when things are okay, right? So this is the
Mhm.
cheapest way to actually promote culture. Design is the cheapest way to do it.
Yeah.
You don't need to like go hard on into like advertising and all this, right? It's just sending these little products, right? Viral man, perfect.
That's a fantastic point, Gab.
Right?
And I
So
think it's the same language that we can all understand, right? Design and art. I mean, everybody, when you see it, and it attracts you. You're right there, Gab. The culture, you can easily promote it globally, right? And I really have to ask this to you guys, because I have students and friends who would always ask, what really is Filipino architecture or Filipino design? I mean, we always have a hard time, we have a hard time explaining that as to what it is, because of our different influences, right? Different cultural influences that we tend to merge. And you see it in structures. You see the capiz windows, you see the bahay kubo sort of structure, and you see the bamboo. But when it comes to design from your perspective, and you try to promote what Filipino culture is through designs, how can you best describe it?
Hmm.
it's
Re-
like food.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
yeah.
right? Like Bourdain said, I can't describe
Mhm.
this. It has Spanish, it has Portuguese, it has. That's how I see Filipino design. You can't really say, oh, I was influenced by, again, like you mentioned, there's a lot of influence,
Mhm.
there's a lot of references going on
Right.
for us, right? But it has a particular mix, it has a particular taste to it, right? So
Mhm.
that's probably the best description. I would say.
Rita?
Well, for me also, I mean, for there's this kind of fusion between, you know, technique, material,
Mm-hmm.
and almost this like, and that something else that you can that Gabby was mentioning, right? And that part of the culture where it's, whether it's, um whether it's like food, whether even kalokohan,
Mm-hmm.
witty or whatever, but definitely technique and material also are a part of it. Whether it's hand carving from, you know
Mm-hmm.
from Pampanga, or our weaves and our artisans, and that are handmade pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's
And
a
I think a big influence to Filipino culture is probably the character, our character also, as human being. Like it's the story behind every weave of the banigs, every weave of probably the barong. It's the, di ba, parang these intangible things add up to the what Filipino culture is. So I think, and every time I ask people what Filipino art or culture is, you can't just describe it in one word, right? It's a series and a combination of different words because of exactly the influences that we had in the past. And it's slowly still evolving. Actually, not slowly na. It's still evolving, but you'd still see those little touches of influences that we got from before. And I think it's the character, it's yung ugali natin and our hospitality and how we engage people. Kasi Pinoys are very friendly and mabait and hospitable, di ba? We're known for that. So
Yeah.
that translates to our craft. And I think, yes, Pauline.
Actually, the word you're looking for is malasakit, because
Yeah. Well, yes.
in all our conversations in the DTI about what's
Mm,
common with Philippine design, you will really always end up with heart, and
right.
how the designers pour out their heart, or the artisans. And it's difficult um to find the words to say this,
Mhm.
because how do you differentiate, diba? Because our exhibitors tell us that, for example, something hand carved, for example, a buyer
Mhm.
will get a sample and then go to India or Indonesia and say, copy that. But
Yes.
they never are able to, because there's,
That's true.
I guess, and how do you explain it? It's not so much technique anymore, but
Mhm.
it's art. That
Yeah.
it's the malasakit that, Rita's weavers, or Shanali's carvers put into how they manipulate the materials that
Mhm.
are local to us. And then, of course, it's also economy, because
Mhm.
we're that, I guess, we're that country, that we never have the abundance of technology or the abundance of
Mhm.
budget. So we always have to innovate. We always have to, think smarter, how to make the best out of the materials that we have. And
Mhm.
somehow that pushes the design forward. So, and this is goes beyond the materials that we have, because
Mhm.
even with our, for example, fashion design, and design fashion exhibitors, where they always say, parang, how come, uh, where I always say, Philippine fashion design is not limited to if you're wearing husi, or if you're wearing,
Yes.
or if you're wearing
Oo.
textiles, or artisan
Mhm.
textiles, because it's the way you think.
Exactly.
Diba? Given all the influences that we have, how you're able to distill that into,
Mhm.
they say nga we're the first fusion, diba?
Mhm.
And distill that and put it together. It's our halo-halo, or our jeepney selves, that come
Right.
into how we're able to put it together. So even if you're not using sinamay or rattan, or a local, or
Mhm.
local material, it's the marriage of our history, our economy, um, our culture. Yep.
Exactly. And Pauline, I think that's why I'd like to think also that in the event of Manila Fame, since it's going to be about our expression of our culture, I feel like the malasakit that you also mentioned in terms of interacting with the different buyers and guests, people would feel that malasakit from the exhibitors as well. Parang I feel like it's a different thing. It's a different thing when Filipino will run the expo or a show compared to like attending to different expos that it's all purely business. I'm not saying naman they don't have a heart or they don't have any emotions or whatever, but I feel like it's going to be different. Yung content that you were mentioning earlier, the richness of the stories and the cuentos behind it, I think it's going to be evident in this entire event, Pauline.
I have another word for you because
Oh, what?
it's maaliwalas.
Very,
And
parang
that's
yung background ni Gabby,
yes.
maaliwalas.
And that's the thread that we were working with to tie all of these presentations together, from the design commune presentation that Rita and Gabby are doing to the rest of the program. Because maaliwalas means light the way,
Mhm.
diba? And so
Yes.
drawing from the uniquely Filipino term nga na maaliwalas. So light and airy, and then these reflect our parang direction towards positivity, balance, and hope in these challenging times.
And there you have it. I mean, that's the perfect way to describe Manila Fame. We are looking forward to this 3-day event. It's a digital event, guys. And how are they going to find this? The website is up. Am I right, Pauline? They can
Yeah.
already check it out. Yes.
Uh, I'm not sure if we have a QR code available now to register to Fame Plus Market Days. If not,
Okay.
you can catch us on
We'll
any of our
post it.
social
Yeah.
media channels at Manila
Mhm.
Fame. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. The details and of how to register will be there, or you can log on to fameplus.com and you will find the details on how to participate in Fame Plus Market Days, October 20 to 22. Please join us.
Thank you, Pauline, Rita, and invite everyone. Yes.
Yes, well, we're actually looking forward to the market days and looking forward to all the inquiries as well. So please, uh, um, looking forward to plus.com.
There you have it, Gabby.
Same. Support Filipino design.
There you have it. Thank you very much, Pauline, Rita, and Gabby. Um, this has been very informative, and I'm sure people are more encouraged now, and at the same time excited to experience this different platform, right? And I'm sure hearing this, you've explained it properly. The showcasing of brands, Filipino artists, at the same time the networking. It's going to be a huge, different experience for everybody. So thank you very much, and good luck to your event. More power, and I hope you get to build that community that you were planning to do. All right, so parts, before we close, for sponsorship and collaborations, if you want to feature your projects or your company, please email boulderchannelph@gmail.com. Tomorrow, Thursday, Jamie G talks about pageant exits on Grind at 7:30 p.m. and Nico Loco uncovers the secret life of promo models on Brief Encounter at 9 p.m. Only here at the Boulder Channel. Stay safe, everyone. Get an architect, get a contractor, get an engineer, get a designer, and get ahead of the curve. I'm Patch Cansana, and you've just watched Curve TV's Bold Talks Season 3. Bye, guys. Good night.